Welcome to Narrowboat that James built. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining me. I am on slow patrol and today is an exciting day. I am having my Lister service. So there's a guy called Keith Duffy who's coming around who is a very experienced narrowboat engineer. He is he's kind of pretty experienced. He's been doing narrowboat engines for quite a long time. Safe to say, I think his first narrowboat engine was a couple of horses. So he's coming out here today, and what he does is basically tutors me in servicing the engine. I do know some of it, but I don't, it has been a bit neglected. I will forewarn you. So so he's coming out and show me what to do it all himself, fill it with oil, take the oil out. Yeah, that's the plan for today. So let's go and meet him. After having put pretty much all of that in, I need to start the engine and get it nice and warm for when Keith gets here. She hasn't been started in a while. Shush.
Sorry, you filming?
Here we go. The size of that Lister compared to the Vitus is amazing, and the simplicity of it, I mean, wow. Okay, let's leave that for a couple of hours. Hope people at the pub don't mind. So the service that Keith provides is about, I think, 250 quid or 200 quid. And he provides all the oil as well. So basically all I've got to do is start my engine, get it nice and warm. So I'm walking back to the boat now, just walking past my old school buildings. That there, my school was founded in, nearly 500 years ago. That there was the old music block, we used to call it. It was built in 1790. We called it the new block. And then the canal is right here, which is why I've always loved it. Because when we used to pop out when we used to leave school for a glass of water and sit down here with our friends as teenagers, I think this is where my love affair for it stemmed. I hope this video proves to be quite useful for you all. I found it very informative today. Just to forewarn you, the sound quality is not very good on some parts of this. It's not easy to hear Keith in some stages, but it is quite interesting nonetheless. So hope you stick with it. Thank you.
You've got a piston inside a cylinder, just like a bicycle pump.
Yep.
Pull the handle out of the bicycle pump, it sucks air in, push the handle, blows the air out. Now you know, and I expect you still do it occasionally, put your finger over the end of a bicycle pump and it makes rude noises as you pressurise it. It also makes your finger bloody hot. Now you can feel that heat, but the most pressure you're going to feel with a bicycle pump is about 30 pounds per square inch. This will produce 400 pounds per square inch if it gets hot enough to melt lead. So what happens is the starter motor engages on the flywheel here. There's gear teeth on the flywheel. Starter motor engages and you hear that clonk as it goes in, and then it spins the flywheel and that pulls the piston down. At the same time, that valve opens. That's the inlet valve, and air is sucked in through there and into that chamber. Now there you have a slot which is connected to this little chamber up here. So as the piston comes up, that valve closes, so all of that air there is forced into that tiny little space there. Now at this point, that pressure in there is very high indeed, about 400 pounds, and it's very hot. You've also got to remember that the oxygen has been compressed into that same tiny space, so this is just waiting to go. And at this point, you squirt a tiny, tiny drop of diesel fuel into there, and it immediately catches fire because of the sheer temperature of the air. No other reason, it's just that the air temperature, the diesel goes woofed. And a high-speed flame travels through that little tiny hole there, out through the slot, which I just showed you, and that flame is coming out of there like a rocket bound for Mars, and it pushes the piston down. Now, in pushing the piston down, it turns the crankshaft, which turns the flywheel, gearbox is fixed on the back of the flywheel, and off you go. So the next stroke, as it comes up again, that valve closes, that one is already closed, that valve opens, and blows all the exhaust gas out there. So you get suck, squeeze, bang, blow. Induction, compression, ignition, exhaust. That is the 4-stroke cycle. It's very simple. Now from this you'll see the only thing that's going to stop that engine, besides a catastrophe, which you'll know about because there's loud clattering and banging and nasties, the only thing that'll make it sort of cough and die as you're going along is no fuel getting up here. So you start with the obvious and change the fuel filter. And with a lister, that'll do it 9 times out of 10. You've got to bleed the air out of the system, having changed the filter, because you put it on a fresh filter full of air. And you no doubt know you should be bleeding the air filter, but you probably don't know why. And the reason is that this is the high pressure line here, from the injector pipe, from the injector pump to the injector. If you get an air bubble in there, this pressure has got to overcome the pressure that is already in there. So this is going to come up here at very high pressure, and it blows open this valve just like a bicycle valve. If you get some air in there, it compresses the air instead of opening the valve, so the engine won't run. So you've got to get that air out of there to get it to run. And that basically is the diesel engine. And the whole object of showing it to you is that it's very simple. Don't be afraid of it. If it stops, it probably just needs a clean filter and a bleed.
The oil filter was an optional extra.
Yeah. Well, they knew that most of them were going in dumpers and concrete mixers.
Yeah.
And the Irish labourers would never get around to changing them. No, it hasn't got one. It's usually down there under the lift pump.
Okay.
It's got an oil filter. This one hasn't.
Okay.
The lister, again, an optional extra, had a pump for pumping out the sump. It was usually mounted on this side.
Right. Let's see the lovely colour of this.
Now, I don't think it's gone far enough, or are you very short of oil?
It could be both.
You hear it sucking air?
Pardon?
You hear it sucking air? Push it right down to the bottom.
Well, it's going further. That's it. There we go. There we go.
You felt it hit bottom that time, didn't you?
Yeah.
The other trouble is not having an oil filter. A lot of sludge builds up in the bottom, often blocks that pipe up. So that stuff you put in is supposed to clean all the sludge out. You know how the decompressors work, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, if your battery's a bit flat, you use the decompressors.
Yeah. Well, I just started it this morning.
Yeah.
After CRT don't listen. After 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And started first flick.
Do. This prevents all that grit going down the dipstick hole. Yeah. And getting into your engine. Because you've got to remember there's no filter, so you've got to keep the rubbish out yourself.
Right.
Right. Do you you want to get your brush and brush all that round.
Yep.
And then with me, I mean, sounding like Keith, that means it's not fuck's sake. What have I done?
That's looking better.
Yeah, will you clean around the stern gland as well, because if we're going to do something with that, you may want to video it, because we want it nice and clear. Just going back to the car to get the right stuff.
Right, yeah. Oh yeah, it's looking a lot better. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4.5 litres so far, Keith.
Yeah, about 5. I'll start slurping in a minute.
Cool. Right, next job is to remove the fuel filter. There's a nut there at the bottom which got to be taken off. Keith's given me that to contain any drips. And all we've done so far is drain the oil and do some cleaning up. And I've also got to do some attention to the stern gland. Keith is not happy about the state of my fuel filter.
Fuel filter contents. Filter becomes blocked, the fuel pressure builds up and pushes the filter down with fuel pressure, and the fuel flows straight over the top of the filter and into the engine. This is highly undesirable because you're going to be pumping this kind of thing into your injectors, which will do it no good at all. It is important to regularly check your fuel filter and change it.
Gotcha. Sorry, Keith and Mr. Lister.
Pops out as you're trying to get the filter in.
Okay, so just show me how to apply that grease again. We're going in with silicone lubricant.
And any grease will do.
Any grease will do.
Yeah. And you scrape it off with your Saturday night finger, like that, to leave jollops of it around the outside. Then you can press the seal in and rub that around there all the way, so it's glued in with grease.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, turn the fuel back on. I've changed the fuel filter in there.
Right, so there.
Yeah.
Now, do you know how the lift pump works?
No.
Right, that's down left front of the engine,
Left front.
runs to the off the camshaft.
Right.
And it should have a little lever sticking out the side, unless somebody's broken it off.
Lever.
They did one without a bloody lever, which happens. Yeah, reach underneath it, and pointing straight at that jelly can.
Yep.
And from the underside, you'll find a little tongue sticking out. You've got it there. Lift that up.
Lift it up.
Yeah. Will it lift? Or is it have to be pushed down?
No, it's already up. I can push it down.
Right, fine, push it down. Just keep pushing on that. Keep pumping, go on. There's a pump.
Oh, that's a pump, is it?
Yeah, keep pumping.
Okay.
Hang on a moment. Let's loosen off those. The filter's now tight, isn't it?
Yep.
So we'll loosen off one of those screws on the top to get the air out.
One of those screws.
There are pliers on there. They're only supposed to be finger tight, but people always put pliers on them.
Okay. Pair of pliers.
Use the teeth grip on them.
Yeah. Oh, actually, they're loose as you like.
They are finger tight. Great. So, only one will do.
Oh, okay. Right.
That one, loosen it right off. Don't drop it, for Christ's sake.
No, I won't drop it. Won't drop it. Okay.
Now you pump away until we get fuel coming out of there without air in it. Quite a lot of pumping.
Where's the fuel going to come out? The top
That
bit?
screw, yeah.
No,
Okay, hang on a moment.
I'm not really getting
Hold
that.
it there. Where's the starter button on this thing?
There's a key
Right, where is it?
on the other side of that.
Right. You just got to kick it over a bit.
Okay.
The inside of that pump's got a lever like the one you're moving,
Yeah.
and it's operated by a cam coming up.
Yeah.
The cam's that shape.
Yeah.
The cam comes up and opens it, and then it passes, and it closes again.
Okay.
What can happen is it stops on the cam, and therefore it won't work on the outside because it's jammed.
Gotcha.
What we're going to do now is turn the engine over just a kick. And before I do that, I'm going to pull the stop out because we do not want it to stop to start.
Right, so you're stopping the fuel getting to it?
Yeah. Right. See if that feels any different when you push it down. As far down as you can. Does it feel any different?
Not really, no.
Alright, let's give it another kick.
Go on then.
It did turn, did it? Because I can't see the pulleys from here.
Go on. Yep.
Right, try again. The brand of the oil is unimportant. What is vitally important on these older engines that consult your manufacturer is that it's 15W40, it's mineral oil. Now, good quality oils, regardless of the maker, will be marked with an API, an American Petroleum Institute marking, which shows that it comes to a worldwide standard. And this oil is for slow turning, lightly loaded engines. The quality is compression ignition, which is a diesel engine, CF4CG. Dash 4 shows they comply with the 2004 agreement to limit emissions. So any good quality oil is going to have that dash 4 on it.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Good to know. Well, there we go. We have had our engine service. So that's been filled with grease. Fuel filter's been changed. Topped up with another 6 litres of quality oil. And all the old shit gone. That's a right result. Keith's given me an absolute bollocking. So all in all, that is a damn good Sunday morning.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much. So I was kind of torn a new arsehole by Keith today, which, you know, was fairly deserving, to be honest. But the Lister is in very good shape now, and I've learnt my lesson. Obviously, with the Vitas, it is a very different story. I've got to really look after that. There's a whole load of stuff to be doing on that one. But so before you all kind of slate me in all the comments about how crap I've been, I know, and yeah, as I said, Keith has told me. But this, you know, he's just amazing. He's 83 years old and he's getting on and off the boat. He's kind of down in the engine bay. He's just phenomenal. He's such a good guy. So if you need your, if you want a service like that and come round and kind of show you everything on your engine, then get in touch with Keith Duffy. I will put his details in the description below. So yeah, I do really recommend his service. Hope you guys are very well. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.